Welcome back to another episode of Real Ball Talk. It's gonna be one of them shows, isn't it? Where we're gonna do a combined Arsenal versus City. We're gonna do some predictions and it's a short preview today. It won't be too long. I think it'll be about 45 minutes. Some of us are out trying to, potentially going to catch the game. So I know John's got a work commitment, so he sends his apology, he won't be making it. I think Rash has got a work commitment as well. But Jeff should be joining any minute now. So yeah, man, let's get it popping today, man, because there's it's a lot going on. Like I want to start off the show with everyone kind of like sending in their score predictions for today. I want to see what's going on with that. So I think we've got a few comments already, which is good. They got my boy DJ, my brother. This guy's one of the guys who's had faith in us from the beginning, and that he's been singing the praise of Arsenal. I think regardless whether Arsenal from the second or first, I think he'll be very happy with it and everything. He's got a tutor, respect it. But let's get it done. I agree, man. Hopefully we do get it done today. Hopefully we do get it done because there's a lot going on today, man. There's a lot riding today. I don't think anybody's really got faith in us. It'll be interesting to see what my boy Jeff says when he gets in a minute as well. But let's see what predictions DJ said. So DJ's going with 2-1 to Arsenal, I assume. Yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal. Come on, I'm optimistic, man. I'll get my predictions literally, hopefully by the end of the show. I think it's probably best because I think my mind's going to change as the show goes on and on and on, if that makes sense, around 7 o'clock, we will be doing a team lineup as well. Jeff and I will be doing a team lineup of both the City team and Arsenal team, hopefully touching on that a bit as well. But yeah, no, man, it's gonna be a good one. I think a lot of people are thinking. A lot of people are saying that this is kind of like a title decider. I guess this is like a cup final somehow for the Premier League. Because if you look at it in a couple of different ways, if City win, let's be real, there's no way Arsenal can catch up. Because I feel like we're their biggest team that can actually potentially take off some points from them, if that makes sense. And then I guess if Arsenal win today, we're looking at a few different things. We're looking at, okay, cool, they stepped up against us. Who they got? I think they got Newcastle. They ain't got Newcastle. I think they got Brighton. They definitely got Chelsea. Chelsea ain't really going to do nothing. I think if they're going to drop points somewhere, it probably will be a team like Brighton. Do you know what I mean? But I just can't see them dropping points, man. John, Rash, Jeff, and myself, we did a prediction in terms of, what the points potentially will be from, I think, 10 games out or 8 games out. I can't really remember. And I just didn't see City losing one game whatsoever, which is kind of bizarre. But I did have us potentially losing 1 or 2 games here and there. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous with today, man. The boys are coming in. People are coming in and watching this video. Thank you for joining us today. But I'm very nervous, man. I woke up today nervous, if I'm honest, because I haven't been this excited for an Arsenal game in a long time, to be fair. And I guess the way we've been playing it out and getting all these draws, what was it? 2-2 to Liverpool first. Dropping, in my opinion, dropping points. People say, well, gain a point, at least we didn't lose. The West Ham game was quite disappointing as well, because I believe we were up by 2, and then boom, shit happens and that. And then obviously we had this bizarre, crazy game against Bournemouth, which was very disappointing because they're up in the first couple seconds, not even a minute into the game, and that happens, and then they get another one, then we get one back, and then they get another one. It's like, okay, 3-1, there's nothing we could do now. There's no way we're going to win it, but we could potentially fight back and get it drawn. That's what we've done. And I see the positives in everything in terms of at least we saw a fight, at least we came back and done the business in terms of getting points back on the board and stuff. But it's not enough when you've got a team like City right behind you. Do you know what I mean? So Yeah, man. I think we just got to do something crazy today. You know, my head says it's not going to happen. You know, but my heart says, oh, they're sat in an Arsenal that could potentially cause an upset to City. But we got a good away record as well, which a lot of people don't know about. And some people do know about it, some people don't. But yeah, man, it's a crazy one. If I'm honest, it's a crazy one. The combined 11 we're going to do today is going to be very interesting. I guess the question I throw up to everyone just to think about is how many Arsenal players get into this combined Arsenal and City team? Because if I was to do it top of my head now, and this is what I'm not going to include. Do you know what? Let me just do it top of my head now before Jeff gets in and that. If I did it at the top of my head, I think I'll have in goal. I'll probably have Edison. As much as I love Ramsdale, you got to have Edison there. Yeah, got to fly. But I believe big up DJ in the building. Thank you for rolling through, my guy. I really appreciate it, man. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, as much as I love Ramsdale has saved us, especially in that game against Liverpool, where it could have been very upsetting to be 2-0 up and then them to come back to two goals at home, and then yeah, it just goes a bit. It's just a bit crazy to see that. To be fair, because but Ramsdale saved us, man. I don't care what anyone says. We'll pants since all that happened, and yeah, he saved us. But I mean, I can't just base it on that game. Edison's been having a good season, not just in the Prem, but in other cup games that they're in, like the Champions League. Is the reason why they're so composed in there, and the defense believe in Edison. So yeah, it's a bit of a crazy one if I'm being honest with you. So I'll probably start with him in goal if I'm honest. But hold on, give me a second. Yeah, big up my boy Jeff in the building, man. What you saying, my guy?
What's good, bro? What's good with you, man?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Had a few comments from our boy DJ. He's optimistic as usual in that, so it's always good. But he's put 2-1. I don't want to say my predictions right now. I wanted to wait because obviously in about 20 minutes time, the Arsenal and City lineup come out. Then maybe we can have a quick and then we can sign off from there. But I was about to start doing a combined 11, which is a bit scary because I did ask the audience, to throw in who they think they'll have in and all that jazz. But yeah, I don't know how many Arsenal players will get in. I can figure 3, but I'll start and go, and then we'll go through it if you want. I think. Yeah. Oh, do you want to touch on our last game quickly? Well, we've got a bit of time. I mean,
let's do it, man.
Let's touch on the last game because I think that's quite interesting. I did touch on it, but we're conceding a goal in the first couple of seconds. Nerves were there. I was excited for the game because I thought, even though I had myself not winning the title anymore after the Liverpool game, them coming back, I still thought, we could do the business against West Ham, just put a bit of pressure on City. Then Southampton game, I was like, well, they're bottom of the league. Well, come on, man. And everyone's shouting Woody Walcott. I don't call him Woody Walcott, but everyone's shouting it in the pub and that, what the game's going on and stuff. And then he goes and does that. But it was upsetting to see that. And I guess the positives I took back from the game was like, we actually showed fight, we were actually trying. It wasn't like we laid down and got the smashing, do you know what I mean? But we went out there and we said, let's try and get something back. It would have been good to come back in that Trossard guy to just get banged in. That was a good shot for him, how he broke in and create space for himself. Not many people can do that. We know this, right? He's got tidy feet. But I thought if we get 4-3, we're laughing, bro. This is sick. We've done it. Coming into this game today, it would be some kind of like excitement. But how did you see the game, man? How did you see the game? And where, obviously, you can say where we went wrong and if you saw any positives, man.
Obviously bad start, man. Obviously a minute in, we're behind. So what we wanted to do, we didn't even really get a chance to see because a mistake was made straight away and we got punished for it, innit? So Southampton did well. Like, what's my man in the middle? The guy used to be at City, Lavia, whatever his name is. He was killing us. Like, he was turning and giving the midfield a problem, man, like a big problem. And obviously Walcott then went and scored. We're in all kinds of trouble. We're 2-0 down now. You're thinking, shit, like, this ain't gonna be good. Like, I was out to eat, innit? So I was looking at the group chat, and then yeah, just a few group chats just to see what's going on because I had to watch the game back the next day.
Okay.
So yeah, like you could just see something wasn't right. Like when we were losing the ball, like normally we swarm teams and we get the ball back. That just weren't happening. Like, and I'll say this: like I didn't like Zinchenko's little huddle. Like
When we were down 2, I think it was when we were down 2, and then he called everyone to come round and he started. What do you think that was about? What do you think he was trying to do there? Like,
I get what he was trying to do, like get some stability and tell the boys like, don't put your head down, like we can come back. But
okay.
I think it gave the wrong message. Like I think just everyone looking at it because you already see like 2 weeks in a row we lost leads. So just doing that at that moment just put a spotlight on maybe this Arsenal team is naive. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I just think it gave the wrong impression. And I think he probably was there. The second goal, Gabriel was at fault, I guess, but I also think Zinchenko could have done better because Gabriel got dragged wide when really Gabriel could have like split like between the ball and Walcott and then waited for Zinchenko to tuck back in, and then we would have been all right. Like you would have been Walcott against Zinchenko and against a guy who's familiar with being wide. But like Gabriel got dragged wide, left a big space. Like the pass is easy enough, and then we got punished. So like we done all right. Like to come back, I think we did well. But like I say this, Fabio Vieira had a very bad game. Very bad game. Like just doesn't look. I think he's a good player technically, like very good. I think he's weak. So I thought as the season was going on, he would get stronger, like physically. But that game just looked rattled. Walker Peters gave him one tackle. He didn't look like he wanted it, and he just couldn't get into the game. And at this stage, what we're gunning for, like you can't not get into the game. You need to impose yourself on the game, innit? You have to. So yeah, like it was no surprise when he got dragged off. It's like he was probably expecting it earlier. Like he maybe was lucky to stay on the pitch 52, 53 minutes. But yeah, like all in all, like you saw like the it was our normal three, man, who drag us out of situations. They all scored. Yeah, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Saka. That's the normal three. Like people say Saka has been tired. I've been saying it too. He's looked a little bit like fatigued and whatnot. I think he did well against Southampton. I think he was doing his job. I think he was that Perrod guy, whatever. He was pushing him back as far as he could go, and he was swinging crosses in the box. But they weren't being converted. That's how it goes. Martinelli was giving Walker Peters all kinds of trouble out there, all game until he came off. Like he was killing him. So like again, and then Odegaard did what a captain should do. Sometimes you don't always need to talk, man. Sometimes you need to talk with action. Like that's why I didn't like the huddle, because like the huddle's like, all right, like you can do that in a changing room. Like you don't need to do that right there. Like there's no need. Like this isn't basketball where there's timeouts. There's no need. Like bro, like Odegaard just when things were 3-1 down, things that it looks like we're out of the game, quick little pass to White, gets it back, goal. That's what you do. That's what you're meant to do as a leader. You don't always have to lead by talking. You can lead by example, like, but just by playing football the right way. So yeah, those three dragged us out of a hairy situation, but that could have been worse. So like going into today's game, it's a long shot, but at least there's a shot there like to take. If we had lost against Southampton, then you're like, all right, this is completely over. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we know it's 80% over probably already in my head, like but at least now there's a small shot. Like there's a small one. Like you have to go play the game of your life against one of the best Premier League teams ever at their ground. Like there's bare things wrong with that, but like, at least you can go there, innit? Like you would at least you taken some points. Like even though we dropped 6 points out of the last 3 games, like at least you rescued a point. At least.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said, man. You know, you should have it's Vieira one. I feel like I'm being a hater every time I speak about him. I'm the first one to mention something in the chat, and big up my boy Adam. I get called out for me like about it all the time because I do sound like a hater because it's like if I see something, yeah, I mean there's small players in the Prem, like let's not act like there's not small players in the Prem. So yeah. I think he's gifted technically, like he's got tech. You can see it when he puts balls into the box and stuff. It don't look like he's trying to do it. He's actually doing decent stuff. You get what I'm trying to say? So
yeah,
but everything just I don't see one positive thing he done in that game. Like I'm trying to say, okay, I saw a ball. I see Martinelli running, play into him. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He tried to do it, just didn't make it. If that makes sense. I see, like there's lots of stuff. But I don't want to go on and stalk the guy, but I just don't think he's not Prem ready because I think he's ready for some games. He had a good game against Nottingham Forest and other games and stuff when he got coming, and he had a couple of good games in Europa. But that's not enough compared to how much you want to see. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I guess the only thing that I don't really criticize Mikel Arteta, but Smith Rowe has done it in the Prem. Like he's scored goals against Spurs. He's scored big goals. He had numbers. He scored goals against Chelsea, bro. Like I'm very confused. And he hasn't been a sub. I've seen Reece Nelson come on before him and stuff. And I'm never one to criticize a manager or to say, okay, how come he's not playing? But how come he's not playing? Like, well, do you know what I mean? I've seen people had injuries before him. Like, look at flipping Jesus. After come back, like they've come back around the same time and he's playing before him. Like, almost before has been featured, but not enough. And he's who I'd play in that Xhaka position. Or Jorginho. Like, I know it's a bit negative, but it's something, you know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Jorginho, I wouldn't play in the 8 just because he's not mobile enough. Smith Rowe, you got a point. Like he should. Well, now I think Vieira, at least for the rest of this season, I'll be surprised if he's the first sub like in that position. It should be Smith Rowe, because you kind of you had a game, right? But before that game, you're thinking that's a low risk game. Before that, you're expecting to see, all right, just Vieira and Odegaard. In my head, I'm thinking, when they're both fit and ready, that could be a good little partnership.
Yeah.
But you go in there and you don't look mobile, like Lavia and Levy, whatever. I can't pronounce that guy's name, but he's having fun in there. You're getting rattled by tackles, your technical ability ain't shining through. So Smith Rowe should play. I get it. Or Trossard. Trossard can play anywhere along the front, or he can play in that 8. There's no reason he can't play there. He could play there.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. We saw Trossard kind of in that sense of position, picking up the ball from defense when he came on. He wasn't really on the left or up front. He was actually right in the middle behind the striker kind of thing. So I don't think you're wrong there. I would do that as well, to be fair. I would do that as well. But big up Gregson. Let's go. Okay, cool. I think I know what this is. Big up my boy. If Man United get top 4 plus the FA Cup final and League Cup, have they had a better season than Arsenal? So we kind of had this debate in one of my group chats today. So big up my guy, man. I guess the argument that I brought to the table was when I think back in the day when FA Cup was massive, but when we won the FA Cup and got top 4, sometimes it was if anyone finished above us like United used to, they had a better season than us. And for some people, do you know what I mean? But I guess with this question here, they've got into a final of FA Cup, which is quite big. They've got a League Cup, which is silverware. If you look at the bigger picture, and they're they're arguably going to get into the top 4. What would you say? And I guess I think he's answered the question here as well. Actually, funny enough, look, he said, "I'm saying yes." Mm-hmm. So, what are you saying about that whole situation there?
I don't really like it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. Top 4, solid. Yes, you could say we're the first losers if we end up losing. I get it. I get it. But all right, the League Cup, it's a trophy. It matters, but at the same time, let's put it this way: if Man United were winning something else, League Cup would not be mentioned. League Cup only becomes a prominent factor when the team isn't doing that, hasn't done that good. It's an accompanying thing. It shouldn't be the standout thing. So let's just say this: Man United go and lose in that FA Cup final, and they get top 4 and then a League Cup. Like the top 4 is more valuable than the League Cup.
It is. In football, it is.
Yeah, and like League Cup, what you get to Europa or something like that normally when you win it. Like that does nothing like for Man United because they're going to be in the Champions League. So I disagree with that statement. Like I'll say this: Arsenal, let's just walk through Arsenal's last few years. We finished 8th, once or twice, or I think it's once. So 8th, 5th, and then now we're in this title race. That's a big jump over 2 years. We've gone from 8th, and then you're not featuring in European football at all. Mm-hmm. Then you finish 5th, kind of lose out by our own fault. Like we messed up and didn't get Champions League. And then from there, you make some signings and you now are fighting with Manchester City for the title for a large portion of the season. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we'll fall off. Maybe we'll stay on them. We don't know. But that's a better season to me than a Man United team who, where did they finish last season? 6th? No, wait.
They're in Europa. Were they in Champions League?
I can't remember.
Let me do some research, man.
I can't remember if they were like 6th or they finished like 4th or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think they were maybe they were in Champions League. I don't know.
But yeah, either way, like the League Cup is like an accompanying factor. Like if you win FA Cup and League Cup, then I get it. Like we're along with a top 4, then I'd understand a little more why someone would say that. But League Cup is, it's an accompanying trophy. It's not something anyone talks about by themselves, especially not a Manchester United team. Don't come and tell me about you won a League Cup. Like, no.
Why can't I see this? What did you do?
Let's see. I can't remember.
That's interesting. Now that you pulled it up. Oh, they finished 6th.
Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, like 6th and then Champions League and then League Cup. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen in the FA Cup. If you win FA Cup and League Cup, I get it. Like we're along with top 4, then that's a solid domestic year. Like you've done what you've done. You've fulfilled all your obligations really. As Man United, you've got Champions League, which is the main thing. Now you can attract the players, and you've had some domestic success. Mm-hmm. Like, and you would have probably beaten because they're gonna play City in the final.
Yeah, this final FA Cup, on the 3rd of May, 3rd of June.
So you would have beaten City. That means something. But if you're just telling me you just won a League Cup, nah, bro. Like I'm not hearing that, especially not from no Man United fan. Like if you're like, what would you call it? You're a Leicester fan or something like that, and you want to have that argument, by all means, fine. Not the great Man United. Don't tell me that. Don't even mention League Cup. It's just remember. It's like when Man United. Remember when they said they won the treble because they won Community Shield, Europa.
Mourinho said that.
Yeah, Europa and then League Cup.
League Cup.
No, sir. Like we one you eat your chicken and chips off, like Community Shield, League Cup. Listen, it's got a new sponsor every damn week. Like it don't really matter like that. And then the Europa matters. So like, yeah, man, let's be serious. We can really have that debate if you win an FA Cup, like Man United. But I don't want to even hear it if we're talking about top 4 and League Cup, if I'm honest.
No, I hear you, bro. I think I'm in the same boat as you, bro. I think you actually explained it quite well. Might need to get clipped and put onto Instagram so we can start some arguments and debates. But I think that's a good breakdown. I think that's what I was gonna say 100%. But that's a crazy one. So teams come out in 5 minutes. So where were we? We're speaking just before that comment came in. We're speaking about obviously the team and I guess if you want a quick, I don't know if it's any point, but I think we could just do a quick round robin of a player ratings quickly from that game. Touch on City quickly as well before that. I guess we could touch on, let's do player ratings, touch on Arsenal, and then give City the respect after we do the team lineups, and then we can elaborate on City a bit more, I think, and then we can go watch the game and enjoy.
Let's go.
Well, I say enjoy. If you're Arsenal fan, I don't know if you. I think you'll be looking over. So if you want to go first, you could do. Man, it was bad. Yeah, Ramsdale, man. Do Ramsdale, man. 3 goals.
Probably his worst game as an Arsenal keeper. Looked a little bit uncertain. Obviously, the first goal, making weird saves that he doesn't normally make. Normally, he's a safe pair of hands and safe pair of feet. Like the ball goes back there and he's comfortable. But yeah, mistake. So I'll say either a 4 or a 5. I might go over 4 on this occasion. Doesn't change. He's been one of our best players this season. Probably one of the best Arsenal keepers we've had in recent memory. I'm going to be honest. But bad game's a bad game.
Yeah, no, facts. I think I'm with you in that 110%. 4, it's got to be a 4. That's because we know his average is like. His average is like, what game can I say? Even the game before West Ham, like that's an average game for him. But it's like a better game for him, even though he conceded 2, the Liverpool game where he actually saved us from not getting any points. So I understand what you're saying. 100%. I would have to agree with you on the 4, man. 100%. I'll do Ben Colkane. He's got to have a. He was involved in the attacks and stuff. He was keeping the pressure up, but 3 goals, defense. It was an average game for him. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't a shit game. We can't put any blame on him really, and we can't say he's the reason why we got three goals back really. So he was involved in like a lot of stuff on Saka's side though, and Saka got a goal and assist. But I guess we'll get to Saka on that one. But for me, he could have an average fight. He was just standard. He wasn't shit. He wasn't perfect. Rob Holding, someone who's had given us some mixed messages in terms of how he's playing. We thought he would be getting totally battered, but he's actually been all right in that. Like a Liverpool game was all right, I think, and then the West Ham game, I don't know, he was all right. Maybe, I know you might disagree, but let's talk about him in terms of the Liverpool game, the West Ham game, and then what do you give him for a rating?
Liverpool game, he was good, bar giving away the penalty. I actually think he was good, and that's because they play a certain way. Liverpool, a crossing team, especially with Trent and Robertson. So, and that's his thing. Like he headers the ball out comfortably. So that he had a good game that game. I think West Ham, I don't think he was that good. And then I don't think he was that good with Southampton. Again, just because Southampton just gave a different approach. Like they were pressing in it. So like he was panicking too much. It's just like, bro, you don't need to just keep clipping it long. Like you're doing some non-league stuff, like where you're just trying to hit it behind the fullback and that. Like I get we got good wide players and they can make something of it, but bro, let's try and build up at least. Like, you don't trust yourself, go home to the keeper, get it again, start an attack, do something. So I'll probably give him like a 4. I think like Alcaraz, Adam Armstrong, Walcott, whoever was in his little area, they were giving him some headache, man.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And the funny thing is, if you look at the first 30 seconds of the game, Holding was free on the right, by the way. But Ramsdale just didn't trust him. And in the first 30 seconds, I trust everybody. When you get the first touch of the ball, you look around, okay, that's my partner. I was like, he hasn't made no mistakes yet. So why didn't you just give it to him, let him woof it up? Right. But you chose to go to who was in the middle? Zinchenko, I think it was. He went around to the middle and then obviously got intercepted and they scored a goal. It says a lot about how they feel about Holding. I think, it's a bit sad to see that, but it is what it is. Gabriel for me was good. Okay, he was winning a lot of the balls. He was very active. He got forward quite a lot as well. But again, as you said at the beginning when were assessing the game, Walcott just ran around him. I think you've got to be more aware. But again, some onus has to go into Zinchenko because I think that in training they know Zinchenko's got to obviously be out of position. So Gabriel has had to have some kind of defensive training to know that he has to cover at like a left back sometimes. But it's kind of hard when a ball like that comes through the middle and that, and so I think we've got to be real. He's gonna have a standard 5 as well. I don't think he was shit, but I don't think he was amazing either. I'll leave you to Zinchenko then.
Probably a 5. Hasn't been great his last. Or this last game, he wasn't great. Like Don't get me wrong, he's going to get on the ball, he's going to break lines, he's going to get in between. But yeah, just the normal occasions where this season he's been decent defensively, just a little bit suspect in that game, just making the wrong decision. So yeah, I'd say 5. May even be being a bit generous. Maybe it should be a 4. But
No, I'll go for a 5 as well. I'm with you that. I think it was pretty standard, man. Don't think we can slaughter him, or we can't think we can praise him. You know. So
nah, yeah.
I'm with you with that one. Partey, yeah, Partey 5.
Giving him a 5.
Oh, you go lower.
I say, hey man, Partey, that's my guy, man. It's probably second, third best DM in the league. But I say this, without Xhaka, it's a problem we even said when Xhaka was not playing well. Xhaka's a gift and a curse in that team. Like, he's been more a gift in the past year because he's just been solid. But when Partey doesn't have Xhaka, the protection isn't as good. So he was more exposed. He had a hard time with like Lavia. On the ball, he was looking a little bit more sloppy. I don't know if it's maybe because that Xhaka passes on and he didn't trust Fabio Vieira. I don't know. But he didn't. I think Partey probably deserved a 4 last 2 games. I don't think last 2 games he's been putting his best foot forward. I hope it's different today, because if he plays today at the top of his game, we've got a shot.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. Odegaard. Yeah, you do Odegaard.
Oh, Odegaard. Hey man, I'm gonna give Odegaard probably a 7.5. I think
7.
Yeah, I think that guy. Listen, man, like he's come on leaps and bounds in the last year. He's still still one of my favorite players last year, but this year he's added goals. He's become like a real captain in that team, and he's one of the key men in that team, man. Like that goal was out of nothing, out of absolutely nothing. Like there was nothing on. It's a quick 1-2 and whip it into the corner. I think that's like his 13th or 12th goal of the season in the league. So that's a good, solid return from a midfielder. Like very solid, especially for someone they say doesn't score enough. For you to then go score 7 goals and get 7 assists this season, it means something. You're doing your job. Yeah.
Double figures. Fabio Vieira. Hope Adam's not watching. Look, he was trying, innit? And I can't get onto someone who was trying. But for me, there was a disbalance in the team, especially attacking wise, and I think that's why he was there. I'm gonna have to let him sit on a 2. 2 for effort, in my opinion, bro. So not being disrespectful or anything, but I just got to call it as I see it, man. I need to see something, at least something. Even if he nutmeg someone, I'm like, okay, cool. We know he's got that ability. You know what I mean? But I didn't see anything, bro, and it was quite saddening for me. And I don't like stalling the guy, but I had a field day after the game, so.
Nah, he deserves a 2, man. He wasn't good. It is what it is, man. Like, hopefully he can get it together when he features next. But yeah.
Might be featuring today. I mean, we're almost done the period.
Oh, no.
We might.
Teams are out. I'm looking at it. He's like.
Let's do the teams. Let's pause for the team. Go on. I'll do the City team. You do the Arsenal team. Yeah.
Go, bro.
So in goal, they got Edison. Interesting. They got Walker, Diaz, Akanji, and Stones. So everyone thought Laporte was going to come in. Interesting. So it looks like they're doing a back 3 again, by the way. So they got Walker, Diaz, and Akanji, and then they're having Stones in midfield with Rodri. Okay. So it'll be either side of them. In the middle centre midfield, obviously De Bruyne, KDB, and Gundogan, who's going to be captaining the team today. And this is an interesting lineup for me again as well, because Pep is so unpredictable in terms of what he's doing. He's gone Bernardo Silva, Haaland, and Grealish. With the way Mahrez played in the FA Cup, I know it was against Sheffield, but you would have thought hat-trick, he's on form, bring him into this game, let him do something to Arsenal. But Bernardo Silva, don't get me wrong, arguably better, we can argue that, but I thought he would be in, no?
Nah, like when you play, because how long did Mahrez even play on the weekend? Because he's always in and out of that team. Like, so if he starts one, he normally won't start the other. So it don't even surprise me that he ain't playing. But say this, he's gonna come on.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. When he comes on, he's gonna give us problems.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just gonna look at it. But what?
Oh yeah, I see it. He played a full game.
He played a full game, yeah, man. So yeah, he's on the bench. So yeah. Do you want to do the Arsenal team? Give us some good news. Give us some bad news. What's going on with the boys?
Yeah, so it's pretty much an expected team from what we got. And then we have it's Ramsdale in goal. Yo,
yes,
let's go, bro.
Hands on the train.
You don't tell me.
Yeah,
no, man, just read out this Arsenal team, bro.
Hey, if it's too loud, let me know. I'll just jump back out.
No, you're good.
That's all right. It's all right now. But it's Ramsdale in goal. We've got a back four of Zinchenko, Gabriel, Holding, and White. And then midfield is Partey, Xhaka's back, and Odegaard. And then usual three up top, pretty much. So Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. So that's what it's looking like, man. So
no changes basically. So
one change. Yeah, one change.
One change, yeah.
Okay. But pretty much expected team, man. And guess we did all right when we last played at City. So I'm hoping, and that was without Jesus.
That was about Jesus.
So I hope. Yeah, I hope we can get something out of this.
Yeah, man. Go on,
what's City's lineup?
I'll give it to you again. So it's interesting. I think everybody had Laporte playing, but he's not. I think that's the biggest shock. Yeah, that's the biggest shock. So they've got Edison in goal. They've got a back three of Walker, Diaz, and Akanji. They've got Stones and Rodri in the midfield. Well, defensive midfield. Again in the midfield, just a bit higher in advance than them, will be KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, and Gundogan, who will be. And then an interesting one, which we discussed, which is strange for me, but I guess Jeff understands a bit more than me, is Mahrez has dropped. So Mahrez is not in the team from the last game when they played in the FA Cup and he got a hat-trick. But Bernardo Silva comes in. Haaland and Grealish obviously expected. So what's your thoughts on that? And smash the likes button, please.
So Akanji's left back.
Hit them.
Yes, he's quick. He'll be Akanji left back here.
Makes sense. I think Laporte would have been too clear of a weak point at left back because he doesn't have the mobility to play out wide in the wide areas. I mean, that's a great team. Obviously, I think it depends how Arsenal start the game. You know, I have a feeling that City will come out and try and lick them and kill this first 30 minutes.
John,
you know what I'm saying?
Word on the streets that you're neutral now. Like you don't support either team. What's going on?
Who said that?
I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it in chats. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm neutral. I don't really.
I said I'm a neutral. Wow, who's spreading lies? Who's spreading lies? I never said that in no chats. I never said that in no chats. No chats. Nah. Yeah. No comment. Let's talk about the game.
Wow.
Let's talk about the game. But yeah, I think it's going to be hard for Arsenal. I can't lie. I do think there's a lot of pressure as well. You know, everyone's going to be watching this game. You know what I'm saying? But it's great. It's a great experience for them because these games don't actually happen often if you're not a top team. So you kind of just got to take like whatever happens today. As an Arsenal fan, you can't get too mad about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Arsenal will get smashed, though. I do think that's been a bit overstated. I don't think Arsenal will get smashed. I feel that should be a closer game than people think. Might be like 2-1, maybe.
You're giving us your predictions early.
Well, yeah, that's what I would have said. Yeah, I would have said 2-1 City. I would have said 2-1 City. Like if Arsenal were to The thing is, for me, I don't think a draw is a bad result for Arsenal. I know everyone thinks Arsenal have to win, but I really, really don't think a draw is a bad result. I really, really don't.
Hmm.
I'd say we have to. I'd say we have to win. 100%, we have to win. I think. But I'll be honest with you. I said this at the beginning of the show. I think it was done when we didn't win to Liverpool. Like when we didn't beat Liverpool, I said it was done then because not done.
Wow. Really, yeah?
No, but mathematically we're still in the game. But I just thought I looked at that and I thought, how could we dip so low? I know it's Liverpool, but then I guess I was proving myself right after when the West Ham game happened and then the Bournemouth game happened. I was like, well, there's no coming back from this. After those 2 draws, bro, after 3 draws in a row, bro, I guess I predicted 6 points out of the nine that was available. We're coming out of 3, bro. We're starting 6 points. That don't make sense to me. So I just thought, no, it's too much pressure for a young team like this. And City will just enjoy this, and they are enjoying it, bro.
Yeah, and you know what it is as well. Like if you look at Arsenal, I think Arsenal. Let's say they were to win tonight. Even if Arsenal were to win all of the remaining 6 games, right? They'll finish on 93 points, I think. So let's assume they lose one of the remaining 6 and maybe draw 1 more, right? That's 88 points, right? After 19 games, Arsenal had 50 points. So that means in the second half of the season, Arsenal would have got 30.
That's bad.
And when you think about it, 38 points is top 4 pace there or thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
Which then at the end of the season, you got to look back and think, are Arsenal more the first half of the season team that shocked everyone, or more like the second half of the season team, which is more of a top 4 pace? That's what I think, depending on what happens today, people have to look at. There's a big difference between the two halves of the season. Big difference.
Do you not think City are going to drop more points or not?
From now to the end of the season?
Yeah.
Nah, no way they're dropping no points. I don't see them dropping 1 point.
I think they will.
So you think they're going to win every game?
Every single game. Not one draw. Not one draw.
Right. Okay. Let's just go through what their actual fixtures are.
Why are you doing that, Jeff?
Not even one draw.
Nah. John, while Jeff's doing that, we'll just finish it up on player ratings from the last game again. Could you finish off and just do Saka, the 3 goals for Saka? No, you don't want the goal scorer. Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli, 2 of the goal scorers. So what would you give them in ratings, just quickly?
Based off watching the game back, I'll probably give him Martinelli a 7. Saka goals. He's probably good. 5.
5.
Yeah. What score, man?
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
what score?
He's had a yeah.
Remember what you were talking about at the beginning of the season, Jado? Remember when everyone was cussing you? And you were talking about this exact same thing with Jesus. You remember that?
Bob, I saw the comments, bro. It still haunts me to this day. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know football because it's not all about goal scoring. No, bro, you need to score goals if you're in that position, but I don't want to hear it. Or assist. But maybe that playing style, nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. I like what Jesus does. I want numbers as well. And that's not me being materialistic. That's just me being real, you know?
Facts. I think you were right with that one, to be honest. Hey, well, Jeff, what are you saying?
So I'll read out City's fixtures. So obviously they got us tonight. Then Sunday they got Fulham away.
3 points.
I don't know if it's that easy, but I hear
Fulham away. Oh man, they're battering Fulham, man. I'm not even being funny.
All right. And then they got
they should win by
Yeah.
And they got West Ham at home. That's a 3 points. And they got Leeds at home.
3 points.
I expect that to be 3 points.
Yeah, that's another win.
Then they got Everton away.
3 points.
Again, I don't know. Because that's going to be, what do you call it? Everton away. Everton are going to be fighting for their lives at that point. Like Fulham, we know they're going to finish mid-table. Leeds have got no firepower, it looks like. Yo, Rash, what's going on, bro?
My guy.
What's going on, my people? What's happening?
Come on, man.
Just discussing this,
What you lot saying?
this City running, man.
The boys are back. What's happening? I thought it was just me and Jeff. The boys are back. Hey.
Say John's on that traveling, yeah.
Trust me, man. I'm logged in before the signal kicks me out in a bit. But I know that's coming soon. Yeah.
I've been there before. How's everything? How is everything, lads? It's been a while.
Man. Just
good, man.
Just talking about the Arsenal City game, trying to give ourselves. I mean, Jeff's running through at the moment. City's last couple of games and that, yeah, and just to trying to see if we think they'll drop points. I said they're not dropping any points. No draws, all wins, 100%. But yeah.
See, and I'll run through these. I'll start again from where we were. Cool. So obviously they got us tonight. They got Fulham away on Sunday. Jalil said 3 points guaranteed. I said I don't know. That could be a tricky game.
3 points.
I don't think Fulham are slouches, man.
It can be a tricky game because you're right. They're not slouches, but I just can't see with the momentum that City are on that they'll drop points there, unless they drop points today.
Okay. Yikes. Okay. Then we go. Then we got West Ham and Leeds. That's the next two games, both at home. So I'd say I expect them to win. No problems. And then what's the next game? They have Everton away. So I said Everton are going to be fighting for their lives because they're still in that fight. So whilst they should win, they're not guaranteed a win. To me, because like they could drop points there easily. And I think City are gonna drop points in this running. I just don't know if we're gonna take advantage of when they drop points. I just think it's gonna be very difficult for them to win every single game convincingly.
I don't think I win every game.
Nah, so yeah, that's Everton, and then the next game after that is Brighton away.
3 points.
That's the one.
He said 3 points to City.
3 points to City.
I think if they're going to drop points, that could probably be one of the only places that they could drop points in. But yeah, I mean, I've got City like pretty much going all the way undefeated. But if they can drop points, I think it's going to be Brighton. Anything could happen where they could just get a draw somewhere else. But I just think with the current one that they're on, they're looking pretty strong. They got the know-how, how to get them over the finish line and to get them through these ones. So it'll be good to see. I mean, we can always hope. But let's continue. Yeah. What you got?
So yeah, it's Brighton away. Then final game of the season is Brentford away.
Now that one could be tricky.
3 points.
Away.
So
we know what it's like going to Brentford. Them fans are very close. They're on top of you. Do you know what I mean? And they're a very good squad at home. Good side. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. So all right. So Jalil, you say 94 points that City are going to finish on.
I'm very keen on 94 points. I think.
Okay.
Any disagreements?
Yeah.
I think 8 wins. Well, how many have they won in a row on this current run? How many games have they won in a row?
Well, I think they've won their last 5, haven't they, at the moment?
I just think 13 straight wins. The back end of the season is pretty hard to do. Even as good as City are. Like, I don't know because we did this before. We did what we thought what the run-ins would be. Mm-hmm. Did anyone have 94 points at the start?
No.
What was the highest points total that anyone even had? I can't remember what mine was.
I had Arsenal at 92 and City at 91.
Right. Okay. I can't remember what mine was.
Yeah, I can't remember my mind changed, by the way. I changed my mind a lot. I think you boys know, but I
I
changed my
had,
mind
I
about
had, I had Arsenal. I had Arsenal on 90 and City on 89.
Yeah, City on 89.
So
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
See, I had City winning by a point, I believe.
You do. I think you had them on like 92 and Arsenal on 91.
Believe so. I need to. We need to double check because it's going to get more and more interesting. Because let's just say it's a very very long shot. We probably got a 15% chance today, but let's just say we go and win. Then by the time we do our next show, everyone's points total at the end of the season, I'm sure, is going to be different again.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
100%.
think with mine, look, I had Arsenal losing at Liverpool and losing at City and winning the rest. However, we've drawn or lost 3. So really, I think we're 2 points in my books. We're 2 points behind where we should have been.
I get
Yeah, or something like that along the lines of that. So that's if we lose to City today. If we don't lose to City today, then we're actually above what I put myself as what we should be at this stage. It all depends.
Interesting.
All right. Well, so Arsenal going to win tonight.
Arsenal's going to win tonight.
My guy, MJ.
Big up. Guna, bro, big you up. Oh, man. I don't know where all this I don't want to be the negative person, but I just don't know how people think we're going to win today after how we've been playing. It just don't make any sense.
Do you know how I've been looking at it, Jay? And
Yeah,
maybe
cool.
how some of the other fans are looking at it. It's like,
Yeah, let me know.
Arsenal had a little bit of a stumble last season towards the end as well, where they lost 3 on the trot, right?
Mhm.
This season, it seems like this is our stumble as well.